What would you do if a billionaire erased your debt in exchange for 3 months of marriage, knowing he never planned to survive them? Simone Taylor made that bargain. She signed away 90 days of her life to a man who wore coldness like armor. But somewhere between contractual dinners and stolen glances, fake vows became dangerously real. And the truth he's been hiding could destroy both of them before their time together runs out. Hit subscribe because this love story doesn't play by anyone's rules. The pen weighs like lead in Simone's trembling hand. It's 2 a.m. She's still in her maid's uniform, still smelling of lemon polish and her own dried tears. Across the mahogany desk sits Ethan Cross, 33 years old, cold as winter, handsome in that severe way that makes him look carved from marble instead of born from flesh. Between them, a contract that will change everything. Marriage. 3 months, debt forgiven. The words blur on the page. $375,000. That's what his father's painting was worth, the one she destroyed an hour ago when her sleeve caught its frame, the one that shattered across his private study floor while she watched in absolute horror. $375,000 she'll never have. Not on a maid's salary, not in 10 lifetimes. Sign it or don't, Ethan says, his voice sharp enough to cut. She looks up at him, really looks at him, for the first time in the 6 months she's worked here. Dark hair, darker eyes, a jawline that could slice through steel. Everything about him screams control. The pressed suit at this ungodly hour, the rigid posture, the way he holds himself like a man who's already survived too much. Why? The word escapes as a whisper. Why marriage? Why me? Does it matter? He leans back, fingers steepled. You owe me money you'll never repay. I need a wife before my 35th birthday, 4 days from now, or I lose access to my inheritance, my father's will, his final manipulation from beyond the grave. He slides another document across the desk. You need your debt erased. I need to access funds for my charitable foundation. It's a transaction, Miss Taylor. Business. Nothing personal. What about love? The question sounds foolish the moment it leaves her lips. Ethan's laugh is hollow. Love is a fairy tale. People use it to make contracts like marriage feel less like the business arrangements they are. I don't believe in fairy tales. And I suspect, after everything you've been through, neither do you. He's not wrong. Simone stopped believing in fairy tales when her parents died in that car accident 5 years ago, leaving her to raise her 15-year-old sister Zara alone. She stopped believing in dreams when she had to abandon her art scholarship for 3 minimum wage jobs. And she definitely stopped believing in rescue when every man she ever dated walked away the moment things got hard. But marriage? Even a fake one? What happens after 3 months? We divorce, quietly. You get a settlement that ensures you and your sister are comfortable. I get what I need. We both walk away better than we started. His expression hardens. My Aunt Victoria will be told this is a love match. She can never know the truth. To everyone, we're a couple who fell in love quickly. Understand? Simone thinks of Zara, of the surgery her sister needs, the one her insurance won't cover, of the stack of medical bills growing taller every week, suffocating them both. She thinks of having no choice at all. Where do I sign? 3 days later, they stand before a judge in a lawyer's office. No flowers, no music, no guests except Ethan's steel-eyed Aunt Victoria and his assistant serving his witness. Simone wears a $40 cream dress. Ethan wears another perfect suit and an emotionless mask. "I do," he says when prompted. Flat, mechanical. "I do," Simone echoes, trying not to think about how she once imagined this moment differently, surrounded by love instead of marble and mahogany. The judge pronounces them husband and wife. Ethan doesn't kiss her. He shakes her hand.
Living in the Cross mansion as Ethan's wife is stranger than living there as his maid. At least as a maid, Simone knew her place. Now she occupies some twilight space. Not staff, not family, not quite real at all. She has a beautiful suite in the East Wing, a closet full of expensive clothes she didn't choose, and absolutely no idea what to do with herself. Ethan meant what he said about distance. He leaves before sunrise, returns after dark. They take separate meals in separate wings. When they pass in hallways, he nods politely and keeps walking, like she's still just the help wearing nicer clothes. It should be fine. It should be easy. But his distance gnaws at her in ways she can't explain. "This is weird," Zara says one afternoon, sprawled on Simone's guest suite sofa. Her sister's 15 years old and way too perceptive. "You're married to a billionaire, living in this insane mansion, and you look miserable." "I'm not miserable. You're lonely." Zara sits up, her expression serious beyond her years. "He doesn't even talk to you, does he?" "It's complicated. It's sad." Zara's voice softens. "Sim, I know you did this for me, for the surgery and everything, but you don't have to stay somewhere that makes you unhappy. We'd figure something out." "No," Simone's voice is sharp. "We had no options, Zara. This was the only way, and it's only 3 months. I can handle 3 months of anything." But as the first week bleeds into the second, she starts to wonder if that's true. The shift happens on a Thursday evening. Simone finds Ethan in the library, slumped over his desk with his head in his hands. She'd been exploring the mansion's endless rooms, trying to fill empty hours, never expecting to find him home at 7 p.m., let alone looking so utterly destroyed. "Are you okay?" Ethan's head snaps up. For just a moment, she sees pure anguish before he shudders it away. "I'm fine, just tired." But he's not fine. His skin is gray, almost translucent. His hands tremble. Without thinking, Simone crosses the room and presses her palm to his forehead. "You're burning up. When's the last time you ate?" "Don't." He pulls away, like her touch burns. "Don't act like you care. This is a business arrangement, remember?" The words sting harder than they should. Simone steps back, wrapping her arms around herself. "Right, business. Silly me for thinking basic human decency was included in the contract." She turns to leave. "Wait." His voice stops her cold. When she looks back, Ethan is standing, swaying slightly. "I'm sorry. That was unfair." He runs a hand through his hair, messing up its usual perfect styling. The expensive suit hangs looser than it should, the dark shadows under his eyes. This isn't tiredness.
This is someone running themselves into the ground. Come on. The words surprise even her. Where? Kitchen. I'm making you dinner. Non-negotiable.
They fall into an unexpected rhythm in the gleaming, empty kitchen. Simone cooks, while Ethan sits at the island, watching her with an intensity that should feel uncomfortable, but somehow doesn't. She tells him about Zara, about meals their mother used to make, about the tiny apartment they lived in before their parents died. And slowly, carefully, he begins to talk too. My father taught me to cook, he says quietly. Before he got too sick, we'd spend Sundays in here making elaborate meals that never turned out quite right. My mother would pretend they were delicious, but we all knew the truth. You never talk about them. Talking doesn't bring them back. His voice flattens, but pain lurks beneath. They died in a plane crash 3 years ago. Private jet went down in bad weather. One day I had a family. The next I had nothing but this house, my father's company, and an aunt who sees me as a means to preserve the Cross legacy. I'm sorry. Simone stirs the pasta sauce. I know what it's like to lose everyone. Their eyes meet across the kitchen. Something passes between them. Recognition, maybe. The understanding that comes from shared grief. This pasta better be worth the emotional revelations, Ethan says. But his tone has gentled. It will be, Simone promises. It is. They eat together at the island. For the first time since signing that contract, Simone doesn't feel like she's playing a role. They talk about everything and nothing. Books, music, the absurdity of modern art. Ethan is funny when he allows himself to be. Dry wit that sneaks up and makes her laugh until her sides ache. Why do you hide this? She asks as they clean up. This version of you, the one that's actually human. Ethan's expression shudders, because being human makes you vulnerable, and vulnerable people get hurt. Being invulnerable makes you lonely. He studies her for a long moment. Maybe we're both lonely then. Maybe she agrees. That night marks a change. Subtle at first, but undeniable. Ethan starts coming home for dinner. They sit in the kitchen, never the formal dining room, sharing meals and trading stories about their days. He teaches her about the tech world, explains his company's innovations in ways that make sense. She talks about the art she used to create, the dreams she abandoned. Why did you stop painting? He asks one evening. Life stopped it for me. Can't afford canvas and paint when you're working 3 jobs. You could paint now. You have time, resources, the whole East Wing if you want it. The suggestion lodges in her chest, bittersweet. What's the point? It's only 3 months, remember? Then I go back to real life. Something flickers in Ethan's expression, disappointment maybe, or regret. But all he says is, 3 months can be longer than you think. He's right. As April melts into May, the days blur together in unexpected ways. Ethan starts leaving his office door open while he works. Simone finds herself drifting in, perching on his leather couch while he types. They don't always talk, but the silence between them is comfortable, companionable. One day, he brings home art supplies, professional-grade paints, brushes, canvases. He sets them in the east sitting room without explanation. Good light in here, is all he says. So, Simone paints. She paints Zara's smile,
her mother's hands, the tiny apartment she grew up in. And slowly, hesitantly, she starts painting Ethan too. The sharp line of his jaw, the rare softness in his eyes when he thinks no one's looking, the way he started touching her hand across the dinner table, casual and brief, but tender in ways that make her breath catch. "We're supposed to be convincing," he says the first time, pulling away quickly, in case the staff chalks. But the staff isn't there at midnight when they find each other in the kitchen, both unable to sleep. The staff isn't there when Ethan teaches her to dance in the empty ballroom, his hand warm on her waist as they sway to music only they can hear. The staff isn't there when she falls asleep on his office couch and wakes to find his jacket draped over her like a blanket. "This is dangerous," Zara warns during one of her visits. She's been watching Simone watch Ethan through the window as he walks the gardens. "You're falling for him." "I'm not." "Yes, you are. And Sim, he's not going to choose you. Rich guys like him don't end up with girls like us. That's not how the world works." "I know that." But the truth is, she started hoping. Hoping that maybe, just maybe, this thing between us is becoming real. The night everything changes starts like any other. They're in the library, Simone reading while Ethan works on his laptop. Rain drums against the windows, a fire crackles in the hearth. It's peaceful, domestic, achingly perfect. Then, Ethan's phone rings. Simone watches his face go pale as he answers, watches his hands start to shake. "How long has this been?" A pause. "I understand. Yes, tomorrow morning." He ends the call and just sits there, staring at nothing. "Ethan?" Simone sets her book aside. "What's wrong?" "Nothing, just work." But it's not work. She can see it in every tense line of his body, in the way he can't quite meet her eyes. "Don't lie to me, please, whatever this is. You should go to bed." His voice goes cold in a way it hasn't been in weeks. It's late. The dismissal hurts more than it should. Simone stands, gathering her things with trembling hands. "Right, of course. Back to our separate corners." She's halfway to the door when she hears him whisper, "I'm dying." The words stop her cold. She turns slowly, certain she misheard. "What?" Ethan's laugh is bitter, broken. "That was my doctor. The cancer has spread faster than they expected. 6 months. Maybe less. So, you see, you're getting out of this arrangement right on schedule. Lucky you." The world tilts sideways. Simone crosses back to him in 3 quick steps, grabbing his shoulders. "What are you talking about? What cancer? Does it matter?" His voice cracks. "I'm terminal. Have been since before we signed that contract. That's why I needed the marriage, my father's will, the charitable foundation. I wanted to do something good before I'm gone, and I needed the inheritance to fund it." "You've known this whole time? You married me knowing you were dying?" "That's why I married you." His words are brutal now, because it didn't matter. Because you knew this was temporary. Because I wouldn't have to break anyone's heart when the end came. The cruelty of it hits her like a physical blow. "You bastard! You absolute—" Her voice cracks. "You made me care about you. You let me—" "I didn't mean to." Now his composure's cracking too, real pain bleeding through. "This wasn't supposed to happen. You weren't supposed to matter." "But I do." Tears stream down Simone's face. don't I? Tell me I'm not imagining this thing between us. Ethan stands abruptly, putting distance between them. It doesn't matter what I feel. In a few months, I'll be gone. The kindest thing I can do is let you go now before it gets worse. The kindest thing? Simone laughs through her tears. You think abandoning me is kindness? You think pushing me away protects either of us? Yes. Well, you're wrong. She closes the distance he created, refusing to let him retreat. You gave me 3 months, Ethan. 3 months where I got to feel alive again, where I got to create and laugh and be something more than just Sarah's struggling sister. You don't get to take that away because you're scared. I'm not scared. I'm realistic. I'm dying, Simone. This story doesn't end happily. She grabs his face between her hands, forcing him to look at her. Then let's write the middle. Let's make every day count. Let me love you while I still can. You don't love me, he whispers. Yes, I do. The admission comes easily, naturally, like breathing. I love you, Ethan Cross. I love your dry humor and your terrible habit of forgetting to eat. I love the way you dance with me in empty rooms and buy me art supplies without asking. I love that you've started smiling again. And I love you enough to stay, even knowing how this ends. For a moment, he just stares at her. Then he kisses her. If you can't stand people who hide the truth from those who love them, who rob others of the choice to stay or go, comment, love deserves honesty, because this story is far from over.
The kiss is desperate, heartbroken, full of everything they've both been holding back. When they finally break apart, Ethan rests his forehead against hers, his breath shaky. I can't promise you forever, he whispers. I'm not asking for forever. Simone's voice is fierce. I'm asking for now. For every sunrise we have left, for truth instead of distance. What if I hurt you? You already have, but I'm still here. She pulls back to look him in the eyes. Stop trying to protect me from pain I'm willing to feel. Stop deciding what I can handle. I'm choosing you, Ethan. All of you, including the ending. Something breaks in him then. He pulls her close, burying his face in her hair. I'm so tired of being alone, he admits, voice muffled. Then stop pushing me away. That night, everything changes. They don't go to separate wings. They fall asleep tangled together on the library couch, holding on like they can stop time through sheer will. The next morning, Simone wakes to find Ethan watching her with an expression she's never seen before. Soft, unguarded, terrified. Still here? He asks quietly. Still here? They spend that day together, really together. No distance, no pretense. Ethan shows her his company headquarters, introduces her to his team. They look surprised to see him with anyone, let alone smiling. That afternoon, they visit Zara at the hospital for her checkup. Ethan sits with them through the appointment, holding Simone's hand while the doctor explains the surgery schedule. Afterward, Zara pulls Simone aside. He's different with you, her sister says. Lighter, like he remembers how to be happy. He's dying, Zara.
I know, he told me, but that doesn't mean what you have isn't real. If anything, it makes it more real. You're choosing to love him anyway. I don't know how to do this, Simone admits. How to love someone and lose them at the same time. You just do it. Zara's eyes are wise beyond 15 years. One day at a time, until there are no more days.
The weeks that follow are the most beautiful and heartbreaking of Simone's life. They stop counting days, stop watching the calendar like a ticking bomb. Even takes her to Paris for a weekend, where they wander art museums and eat croissants on the Seine. He's weaker now, tires more easily, but his smile is real. They spend long afternoons in the East Wing while Simone paints and Ethan reads aloud from her favorite books. His voice is becoming rough, but she memorizes every word. They dance in the ballroom at midnight, moving slowly, savoring. I never thought I'd have this, Ethan says one night, his arms around her waist. Someone who saw past everything I built to hide myself. I never thought I'd find someone worth staying for, worth fighting for, even when the fight is against time itself. He kisses her temple. If I could give you more, you're giving me everything. She pulls back to look at him. Every moment, every truth, every piece of your heart you were too scared to show anyone else. That's more than some people get in a lifetime. But time is cruel. By late June, Ethan is in and out of the hospital. The treatments aren't working. The doctors use words like palliative care and quality of life. Simone moves into his bedroom. They spend nights talking in the dark, sharing every memory, every regret, every dream they'll never get to live. I wish I'd met you sooner, he says one night, his voice barely above a whisper. I wish we had more time. Would you have done it differently, he asks, if you'd known from the start? Simone doesn't hesitate. No, I choose you every single time. One morning in early July, Simone wakes to find Ethan's side of the bed empty. She finds him in his study, going through paperwork with his lawyer. What's this? She asks. Ethan looks up, and there's something peaceful in his expression. I'm changing my will. The foundation, the settlement you were promised, it's all yours now. And the house, if you want it. Everything I have. Simone. Let me finish. He stands, crossing to her. I married you for 3 months because I thought I could control the ending. I thought if I kept my distance, if I never let myself love you, it wouldn't hurt when I left. His hand cups her cheek. But I was wrong. It hurts anyway. Not because I'm leaving, but because I won't get to see everything you become. I won't get to watch Zara grow up, or see what you paint next, or grow old beside you. Tears stream down Simone's face. But here's what I realized. Ethan continues. 3 months or 30 years, it wouldn't have been enough, because love isn't measured in time. It's measured in moments. And every moment with you has been enough to fill a lifetime. I love you, Simone whispers. God, I love you so much. I know, and I love you. That's why I'm giving you everything. Not just money or property, but permission to live after I'm gone. To paint, to love again someday, to be happy. I can't imagine you will. His smile is sad, but sure. You're stronger than you know, Simone Taylor. You always have been, and you're going to do extraordinary things with this life. 3 weeks later, Ethan Cross passes away peacefully in his sleep. with Simone holding his hand. The funeral is massive. Hundreds of people whose lives he touched through his foundation, his company, his quiet generosity that most never knew about. Simone stands beside Zara and Aunt Victoria, numb with grief, unable to process that he's really gone. But that night, alone in the library where everything began, she finds an envelope with her name on it. Inside, a letter in Ethan's handwriting. Dearest Simone, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And you're probably angry with me for leaving, for not fighting harder, for all the time we didn't get. Don't be. You gave me something I never thought I'd have, a reason to live in my final days instead of just existing through them. You taught me that love isn't about how much time you have. It's about how fully you show up for the time you're given. I showed up for you, and you showed up for me. That was always more than enough. Live, Simone. Paint. Raise your sister. Love again when you're ready. Build something beautiful with the resources I've left you. Make the world better the way you made my world better just by being in it. And know that wherever I am, I'm grateful for every dinner, every dance, every moment you chose to stay. 3 months became forever because you loved me anyway. All my love, Ethan. Simone clutches the letter to her chest and finally lets herself break. But through the tears, she feels something else too. Purpose. Ethan gave her 3 months. She's going to make them count for a lifetime. 1 year later, Simone stands in a gleaming new art gallery in downtown Manhattan. The walls are filled with her paintings, bold, beautiful, raw. The exhibition is called Borrowed Time, Love and 90 Days. Zara, now 16 and post-surgery, stands beside her, healthy, thriving. He'd be proud, Zara says softly. I know, Simone replies. The gallery was funded by Ethan's foundation, the one she now runs, helping young artists from underprivileged backgrounds access resources and opportunities. Every day she thinks of him. Every day she chooses to live fully, the way he taught her. Because 3 months can be a lifetime when you love someone the way they deserved to be loved. And Simone Taylor loved Ethan Cross with everything she had, right up until his last breath and every day since. That was always more than enough. If you believe that love isn't measured in time, but in the courage to show up fully, that 3 months of truth is worth more than a lifetime of pretending, comment "Love is a choice" and subscribe to Hearts and Empires. Because every story we tell here is about people who choose love, even when the world tells them not to, even when it hurts, especially then.